The heated words hung in the air like a storm waiting to break. The IMF official, smug behind his glasses, looked at the young leader standing before him. "You don't know how this world works. You're playing a game you can't win." Laughed. The room went silent. Everyone expected Ibrahim Traore, the leader of Burkina Faso, to falter. But he didn't. He simply stood, his back straight, eyes burning with a quiet fury. "What if I did?" he asked, voice steady, his face unreadable. The world would soon find out. Introduction and setup in the vast dry plains of Burkina Faso. Under the relentless African sun, the country stood at a crossroads. Life here was not easy, but it was resilient. Traore had risen from humble beginnings, his life marked by struggle, survival, and a deep-rooted desire to bring change to his people. His eyes held stories of battles fought not just on the ground, but in the minds of those who refused to believe in a brighter future. The International Monetary Fund had long been a figurehead of global finance, its officials towering over the smaller nations they held in their sway. Yet Traore, despite his youth, had earned his place in history as the leader of Burkina Faso. And today, his resolve would be tested like never before. The office was sleek and cold, the walls adorned with the polished faces of men who had shaped the world with deals and treaties. But in this room, Ibrahim Traore was a reminder of something different, a man whose strength was not in what he could take, but in what he could give. His fingers tapped the table gently as if calling forth something larger than the sum of the world's economic systems, conflict, or challenge. Introduced the IMF official. A man who had seen and heard it all, sneered as he placed his hands on the polished desk. His eyes twinkled with condescension. "You're a soldier, aren't you?" he asked, his voice dripping with mockery. "What do you know about economics?" Ibrahim's gaze never wavered. "More than you think," he replied, his words carrying an unspoken weight. The official's eyes narrowed. "We've looked into your country, Mr. Traore. You think you can change things? Do you honestly believe that your policies will have any effect on the global market?" The words hung in the air, but Traore's confidence remained unshaken. It faced far worse than this. Yet this moment would test not only his resolve, but the very future of Burkina Faso. The world watched, expecting him to buckle under the weight of their expectations. Midpoint revelation or twist asked, the meeting progressed. The tension in the room thickened, but something unexpected happened. Revelation that no one saw coming. Traore, with his sharp military mind, was not just playing the political game. He had a plan, one that involved more than just the survival of his country. It was about shaping the future of nations that had long been ignored. "I didn't come here to beg for aid," Ibrahim said, his voice cutting through the room like a sword. "I came here to change the rules, and you will help me." The IMF official's face paled. For the first time in this encounter, the smug confidence faltered. "What are you talking about?" he asked, his voice unsure. Ibrahim leaned forward. "I know about your interests in our gold mines. I know how you manipulate the resources of Africa to fuel your economies. But no more. It ends today." Emotional breakthrough. The room seemed to freeze. The IMF official was no longer mocking. He was rattled, perhaps even afraid. The full gravity of Ibrahim's words was just beginning to sink in. "You think you can just walk in here and change things?" The official scoffed, his voice rising. "You'll be crushed under the weight of your own ignorance, I think." Ibrahim replied, his voice quiet but firm. "You'll be the one who is crushed, not me. I'm not playing your game. I'm changing it." The official's expression shifted from anger to disbelief. "You're a fool," he spat. And then, as if in response to the final word, something unexpected happened. A transmission came in a financial shockwave that the IMF hadn't anticipated. Burkina Faso had just secured an unprecedented deal with several African nations, bypassing the IMF's influence. It was a victory for the people, a triumph that sent shockwaves through the global economic system. Ibrahim Traore had done it. He had not only held his ground, but he had also exposed the cracks in a system that had long ruled over the African continent. Resolution and quiet closure. The room fell silent. But outside a storm was brewing. The winds of change were sweeping across Africa, and Burkina Faso had become the epicenter of that revolution. Ibrahim Traore's courage had sparked something far greater than a political victory. It had sparked hope. Days later, as the world reacted to the news, a quiet moment occurred. Ibrahim stood at the edge of a mountain, looking out over his homeland. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm golden hue over the landscape. It wasn't the same man who had entered that IMF meeting. He had grown, evolved into something more. He was a leader, yes, but he was also a symbol of resilience, defiance, and the unwavering belief that no matter how much the world tried to silence you, your voice could always be heard. Call to action for YouTube. If this story touched your heart, consider subscribing for more inspiring tales of hope, healing, and unexpected kindness. Hit the like button and share this with someone who needs it today. Let's keep spreading the message that courage and determination can change the world. SEO. Optimized YouTube title suggestions. Ibrahim Traore's shocking stand against the IMF. The world never saw this coming. He was mocked by IMF official. Ibrahim Traore's response left the world speechless. Ibrahim Traore defies IMF. What happened next will leave you speechless. What happens when Ibrahim Traore faces IMF's contempt? The result shocked the world, from mockery to triumph. How Ibrahim Traore exposed the IMF's corruption. SEO optimized. Description: in an unforgettable confrontation, Ibrahim Traore stands face-to-face with an IMF official who mocks his attempts to change the financial landscape of Burkina Faso. What happens next is a game-changing moment that shocks the world and marks a pivotal point in Africa's financial independence. Watch as Ibrahim's determination and courage shatter expectations, showing the world that true leadership is about defying the odds and fighting for the people.